Your voice is not
So
audible.
today I'm going to start how to build a SOAP project. Right, but before this, some are the things which you must know. Like we are already done what is the role of server, how to install the servers for SOAP, for REST separately. Then I also told you how to deploy the retail application if it is for SOAP, if it is for REST. Then how to get the WSDL, which is for SOAP based retail application. So what is the very first thing which I'll do? I do need to start my server, and from where I can start, as it is for SOAP. Just a minute. So I was saying, before building the SOAP project, there are some things which you must know. Like I'll start with how to turn on your server, then how to deploy the server, how to install the server, then how to deploy the application, and how to get the WSDL. Fine, so we are already done with installation of our server, and now how to start the server. See, Apache, XAMPP, Apache. Within XAMPP, Apache is for SOAP only, right? Now if you want to check if your localhost or XAMPP is running or not, just write localhost within the address bar, and if you get unable to connect, it means your server is not on, right? So the very first thing is to turn on, and I can start it from here. There is a button start, and I'll start it. Some PIDs and ports will be assigned and done. And now if you write localhost within the address tab, I am able to see the screen like this. It means my server is up. So after that, server is done. Now how to check your application is deployed or not? For that, go to the same link, and from here only just replace some words with the retail and retail. Okay, so now there was XAMPP and splash. Instead of that, I just write retail and retail.php, enter. So if I get the screen like this, it means my web service is already deployed, and it is there within my server. Fine. So after that, I do need the WSDL file, WSDL link, and from where I could get it, just click on to this WSDL and this one. So this is how I can get the WSDL, and WSDL is what? If I just want to define WSDL, what I can say, the definition for WSDL is my web services description language, and it contains all the services of any web service, right? So WSDL consists of many services. Just keep this thing in mind. Okay, so now we are going to use this WSDL, and now I want to build the SOAP project, and we are here for SOAPUI training, right? So the tool which I do need, which I am going to use, is SOAPUI. So after installing the SOAPUI, you will get it like this, SOAPUI with this version 5.3.0. Just enter, and it will be launched, as it is a product by Smart Build. It is a free version of SOAPUI, in which I am going to start right now. Okay, so very basic thing I am going to do, just building the SOAP project. Today I will not show you how to fire any request, okay, how to fire any service, how to get any service from web service. This is just a introduction on how to build the SOAP project, how to use, how to fire request, how to get the response. That thing we'll do on day 4, that means tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow I'll cover that thing. So today, after building the SOAP project, I'll start working on REST, how REST looks, how it works. Fine. So this is how my SOAPUI tool will look for the very first time when you open it. Okay, it's still loading, I think. Let's start page, yes. Okay. So now to build the SOAP project, what you do need, see, can you see the options? Empty creates an empty project, creates a new SOAP project. Just select this one, and within the initial WSDL, just write the WSDL of your SOAP project, which is this one. Done. So when I write the WSDL, I am able to see this project name as this one. Okay. You can even change it. What I can write, I'll write build soap. Fine. Or project. Build soap project and OK. Done. Right. So I am able to see this. This project I think I made right now. Yes. So this one. This is my soap project. Which I just made. Build soap project. So under this, what you can see, many things are coming, but did I add all these things? No, I just add the WSDL. WSDL, a single link. So WSDL is what? WSDL, as I just said, the definition as, collection of services. So these all are what? Add product cart, add category, get all products category, login request. So these all are the services available under my SOAP project. Fine. So we are going to work, we can work on each and every request separately. Okay. So the thing is, each and every request means, save this request. This is what? What you can say. Add category. This is what? These are my services. Okay, service, one service. So these all are my services available. Fine. So under WSDL, many services are present, and each and every link, it's actually related to one service. Okay, so these all are my services. If you open any one of the service, can you see SOAP request? SOAP request. Okay, so SOAP means because this is my SOAP project. Fine, so this is all about how we can build this SOAP project. How we can fire the request and get back the response. This thing we'll cover after 1-2 days. Fine. Okay, so now any doubt? We are also done with this topic. Okay, let it. So now, what is REST? WADL URLs. Let's open here. So these are all the topics which I'll cover today. So the very first topic is what is REST. SOAP, we have done I think many things. Under SOAP, it's a protocol, where it present, how it works. It works with XML, SOAP envelope, SOAP body, SOAP header, many things, tags, right? So now let's start with REST. REST is what? REST is my architecture which works with JSON or XML. Fine, I have already done this thing, already told you. To communicate in request and response format. Done. So REST can be implemented with WADL and URLs. This is the thing which already done, already told you. Next, WADL contains list of services available under that web API. Right, this is also done. WSDL is for SOAPUI web service, and WADL is a list of services available under any web API. Next, each service under any WADL is in one URL. Okay, now see the difference. How to get WSDL and how it looks. One link which contains many services. WADL, again it's going to be the same thing, but URL is what? One URL means one service of which application? Web API only. That means that one service is coming from WADL only. Okay, I'll write here from WADL. Fine, so this is how it looks. So one URL and one more thing. In my case and in your case as well, surely you will get URL instead of, because it is quite complicated for REST based project. For WSDL it is going to be very simple, but for URLs, for REST it's quite complicated. So we are going to use each and every URL for our task, for our work. So one URL, if I add one URL to my SOAP UI, then I'll say it is one service. It's very simple to work like this. Okay, if I add one service, then it means one URL means one service. Okay, we'll also start that thing today. Then each URL is related to one of the request type. Yes, this is the important thing for today. There are many kinds of requests which I can fire: get, post, put and delete, which in turn related to one of the operations, CRUD, create, retrieve, update and delete. Today I'll discuss about that one. Okay, so these are the request types which one person can fire, which one person can make, and these are the operations which are related. Okay, so now let's start how the operation looks, how it works. Create, retrieve, update and delete, very simple things. If I just want to relate it with my daily utilities which I generally make. Create, what do you think, what is the meaning of create? If I say I'm going to fire create operation, say if you create your account, your Gmail account, Yahoo account, Twitter account, so that is something which is related to create. Okay, so the creation of the very first thing. Retrieve means if I want to retrieve the data. Say if you already have your account, you are just logging in into your account, then it is retrieve. Update means you want to update your account, as you want to change your phone number, you want to change your profile picture, you want to change your security email, as it's a backend work, right? So that updation is one of the operation. And delete means if you want to delete anything, if you want to delete your account, delete your phone number, fine. So 80% of the cases are going to be moved in between these four only: create, retrieve, update and delete. Fine. So the next type of, see, this is something which I can just tell you how it is coming, but I can't show you. Okay, but this is what I can relate it with our URLs which we generally fire: get, post, put and delete request. So let's start. Get, post, put and delete, very important, get and post. Okay, so let's open the browser and say if you write SOAPUI training. Okay, I'm just searching for SOAPUI training. Okay, just wait. Okay, let it be like this. Just copy this URL. And I search for SOAPUI training. I search for this thing. Right. I search for SOAPUI training and I get back this link. Actually, this bing.com is your home page. You can also refer google.com, yahoo.com, it depends. Fine. So after that, see, this is what URL. It's one of the URL, uniform resource locator, which is collection of, going to be the collection of the, it's a messaging protocol which I am using, HTTPS, there are many, SMTP, FTP, many protocols are there. Then www.bing.com, the search path, the location which I am using, and then search and some code, and after that, can you see SOAPUI plus training. So the words which I was searching, I am able to see that thing within my URL. So this kind of request in which the thing which I am looking for, I could see within the URL. So that kind of request is get. Fine. So that kind of request is get. See, did I told my browser to work for get, to work for the request post, delete? No. So by default, the kind of request. So the by default kind of request which I could see within the browser as well as get. Okay, within SOAPUI it is also get, but I'll tell you how it is get. Okay, but within browser even, I just search for these words and I'm able to see that. Okay, so this is get, and again if you search for anything else, you'll again see that words, that values for which you are searching within the URL. Fine. So now this is for get, and say if I write yahoo.com and I want to log in into my Yahoo account. And if I write my mail ID, yeah, this one, and if I say next, okay, so I did just enter my mail ID over here, and my control is passing to the next page, which is asking me for my password. And say if I enter my password something, okay, and then I say sign in, see, it's giving the wrong password, and copy this URL. So this is what I am getting for password, and before password, when I enter my user ID, I was surely getting some other link, right? So this is what, am I able to see the password which I just entered? As I just entered the wrong password, even then I am not able to see. What is the meaning of this? It means that some of the URLs are related to the request which we call as post. So the request which contains some of the authorization for any of the accounts. Say if you are logging into your bank account, you are just entering your, or if you are working in the, if you are surfing on the internet with the, and then you are looking for your bank details, your mini statement, then you do need to enter your account details, right? So that all things which contain some of the credentials, some of the important data which you can't share with everyone, so that kind of details are going to be, that kind of things are going to be part within the post kind of request. Okay, we can't decide parrot as get, parrot as post for our browser case. It is something which is working on other side. The thing is, when I enter my credentials within these text boxes, I am not able to see that thing within my URL, because the thing for which I was searching within the URL, within the address bar, the word I enter, I was able to see it within the URL. But what about the password? As surely I am passing it at some other location, but still it must come within the browser, within the URL, but it is not coming. So that kind of request is my post kind of request. Fine, in which the thing is, the credentials which contains the important data which contains is something which is going to be part within the post. Okay, so what is the difference between get and post? Within get kind of request, the thing for which I was looking, I could see it within the URL, and the post kind of request, I can't see it within the URL. The very first difference. So which one is more secure, get or post? What do you think? Get is less secure, right? Because the thing for which I'm looking, it's within the URL. Post is more secure. And one more thing, the history, the cookies, all these things can be stored for the get kind of request only, but not for post. Okay, so it's very basic thing, but generally we just search for the thing, but we didn't look how it is working. So get and post are the two things. Now get, post, put and delete. These are the three. Yes, any doubt? Yes, it's a simple, in simple terms I can say like this. Okay, if you just want to make difference, yes. Yes, 80% of the times the complete thing is like this only. Okay, only 10 to 20% of the times you need to think what kind of request it is. And one more thing, when your developer is going to send you some URLs as for the testing of REST, what you are going to get from your developer, the URLs. Fine, because with the help of URLs only I can use that request, I can use that service, right? So each and every URL is actually related to one request. So So the reason for explaining this thing right now is that each and every URL is actually related to one of the requests. It can be get, it can be post, it can be put, it can be delete, or any other request as well. Okay, but only the thing is, if you are getting the thing for which you are searching within the URL, as you could see, Amazon.com, as you write, if you just write Amazon login credentials like this, if you write that, Amazon login credentials will be within the URL, and under that only you will see the option Amazon.com. You want to log in into you want to search for the Amazon account, you want to search for that website. Okay, so the thing for which you are searching, if you could see within the URL, that kind of requesters get. Okay, not this is for SOAPUI training, because I was just searching for that. I'm not saying that exactly same within the your SOAPUI project. Okay, the things are going to change at some point, but the thing is, you can just relate it with the daily things which you generally do. So this is the reason just. Okay, so now what about put? Very simple. Put means if you want to update anything. Okay, put means if you want to update anything, or if you want to create the account, generally just update. Delete means you want to delete anything. If you want to delete anything, then it will be look like this. Delete kind of request and delete kind of operation. Now these are the requests: get, post, put, and delete. Okay, now if you want to relate it with your CRUD operations, how you can relate? If it is get means I just want to retrieve the data. If it is post, I just want to create the account, or I just want to log in into my account as it is already there, credentials it contains. Update means already there, but I just want to update something. Delete means I want to delete something. Okay, just introduction to these terms, because we are going to use these 4 terms a lot: get, post, put, and delete. Okay, so now deciding service endpoints. What is the meaning of this? Endpoint is yes. Right. See, username is something else. If you are working within the say if you have any app for your bank account, okay, here 2 options will come. It's user ID and password. It's your wish if you want to store that username and password or not, right? Or you can also say just don't save it. And one more thing, when I just log in, when I was just searching for the yahoo.com and I want to log in into my account, username is something which it generally remember. Can you see? It is coming. Right, so username is not a big thing, but password is the thing which need to be more secure. And even in the Gmail account, Facebook account, you'll get the option if you want to remember your username or not. For password as well, we get this option, but we generally don't save it. Okay, so username is not as much thing which need to be secure. Or let's say if I open my Facebook account. Yeah, this is my account, and if I write like this, wrong password, it's giving me something wrong. Okay, so this is again the same thing which I'm getting for post. See, here I'm not able to see my username. So it depends on what kind of website you are working. Okay, and even if it is able to remember, it is just the path which is just showing you. Okay, so this is the username with this mail account, and I'm trying to log in, but my password is wrong. Okay, but you can't identify that thing which you are passing. Okay, this is the only thing. No, surely it will be a post request only. Okay, so this is something which it is saving, but it is not able to log into my account. See, for that one I'm not able to see. This is something with the Yahoo. So for each and every website it is a different thing. So I'm just saying, just to relate it with the things, get, post, put and delete, this is again something which is at a very high level. I'm not going to discuss about these things. This is just I want to, because get, post, put and delete, these are the request types within the SOAP UI. So I'm just relating it. If I directly open the request, these all are the links which I'm going to use. If I say that the very first is post, very first URL is post, then how you can understand what kind of request post is. So this is just the introduction to the things. Directly moving on to the URLs of the retail application will make it more complicated. Okay, yes. So get is something which I could see within the URL. It's less secure. It can be stored within the history of my browser, within the cookies. But what about post? Post is not a such kind of thing. I can't see my password. I can't see my credentials. For my bank account, it is more secure. Not able to save the things within the history. So many things I could say for these all kind of requests. Same for get, post, rest one, put and delete. Okay, just to relate it with the things which I am saying, and then I'll implement it within the SOAPUI. Fine, yes. So now, what is the meaning of endpoint? Just forgot about this deciding service endpoint. What is endpoint? Endpoint is something which will show me what is the third party, what is the server, what is the path from where I am getting back the response. From where I am getting the response for my request. Okay, so if I open my request, which these two links, see this one and these two links, do we have anything common? No, just a messaging protocol is common, HTTPS, right? So let's do one thing. Go to the browser. Let's search for Training API training. So this is what now I'm getting. Copy this link and let's paste it over here. So these are the two links. Within these two, something is common. Yes, this is common because my homepage is set to a bing.com. Search form, then again something, till this. It's common part. So I can say that actually endpoint is only till bing.com. Okay, so I'll not consider the rest thing, but just to make it more simpler, I can say that, say if you are searching for thousand things, 1000 words, SOAPUI training, Ready API training, you search for anything else, ETL training, then Hadoop training, Selenium training. Okay, so for all of the things, the part which is common, just in a layman terms I'm saying first, the part which is common is my endpoint. Okay, but in scientific terms I'll say that the location from where I am getting the response is my endpoint. Okay, this is just, see, by chance it is same, but maybe it is not going to remain same for all the URLs. Say if you have 1000 records, then you will say that till bing.com is my endpoint. And one more thing, bing.com should come in all the URLs. Okay, so all two things, from where I am getting the response, and the thing is which is common in all the URLs. Say 1000 records, it must be common within 1000 records. Fine. So this is how my endpoints to come. And for more details, let's say if I enter my okay, this URL I already have. If I open my Facebook account, okay, and okay, now I could see this thing. And see if I open any of the link further, then this is my link which I am getting. after this one. Okay, and say if I click on any other thing, so if I click on this person's account, and now this is the thing which I'm getting, and this one, right? So if I open further 100 more links, 100 more, if I just click 100 more or 100 more URLs, I'll get all the URLs with the facebook.com as a common part. Okay, see, I didn't open anything from my account. I just from my profile, I just opened facebook.com. This is for login. When I was trying to enter my password. Then this is something which I just opened after opening my account, and this is for someone else's account. So these all three, out of these all three, what is my endpoint? Two definitions for endpoint. In the layman term, I can say the part which is common in all the URLs. And the second in scientific terms, I could say that the part of URL from where, in which I am working, from where I am getting the response. See, this is for Facebook account. Say if you work within the Twitter account. Say if you are working within Gmail account, you open your account, then you send account, then you open any drafts. Okay, so many more things. So for all of the things, for Gmail account, you will get all the links which are common. A part of that URLs, all the URLs going to be common, which is till gmail.com. Maybe by like luckily you get till this common, but this is not a possible case for each and every time. Okay, so for the security, for the just to be at the safer part, I just choose this one, server name and the common part. Fine. So endpoint is something which is going to be, see, now I'll read the things. URL or website name or the server from where response is coming. We do have single endpoint under any web API, right? What is the meaning of this thing? See, I have already told you, web API, let's relate it with our Facebook account. For all the things, for all the URLs which are coming, if I click on any one of the URL, it is going to be it is going to give me all the URLs with facebook.com as a common part. Okay, so for one web API, only one endpoint will be there. Fine. It's for web API. What about Gmail account, gmail.com? Again, for as I just told you this thing. If you open the Gmail account, you work for 10 to 15 times on a different links, you will get a part of link in all the URLs which is going to be common, and that is gmail.com, www. So HTTPS is your protocol, hypertext type protocol with the security. Then www.facebook.com is your website from where you are getting back the response. Okay, this is for website, fine. And when I work on web API, surely one single point will exist for that as well. Okay, on the basis of this only, complete web API is decided by the decided for rest. Okay, so what does it mean? Last line. See, this is for websites. I'll explain you that thing when I'll work on the web API. Fine, so keep this thing in mind. This thing is here. Now, what about, okay, my service endpoint is done. So how to decide the endpoint? Common part and the server name, including the path from where we are getting the response. Now, what about the resources? What about the resources? Before moving on to the URL, before moving on to the Facebook URLs and all, I'll explain it from here. Each URL, read, each URL consists of one endpoint and many resources. Okay, each URL, say if this is my one URL, one endpoint will be there. One endpoint will be there and multiple resources. Fine, we do have one parent resource and multiple, can you read this? Parent resource and multiple child resources. Fine, so now how resources looks? Again, come back to the same links. Till facebook.com, it is decided that it is my endpoint. So after that, all the things which I am getting, all the things, all the part of URL which are coming after my endpoint, I'll say these all are my resources. Fine. It's a very important thing again. So which one is a parent resource, Ramya? Which one will be my parent resource for this URL, highlighted URL? This is my endpoint, okay? What about the resources? Out of all, these are my resources. Which one is my parent resource? Okay, Vijay, which one will be my parent resource? Any idea? The first, not device, but just login. Okay, so it's clear, Ramya, it's clear. This is my endpoint. This will be my, the common part in all the URLs will be my endpoint. Fine. So after, yes. Okay, I'll explain it. So after endpoint, till this is my endpoint, done, we are done. I know this is my endpoint. So after that, this thing is left. So these all are my resources. Okay, so all the things which I am getting after my endpoint within the, this is my complete URL, till this is my endpoint and this is my resources. So the very first resource will be my parent resource and the rest will be my child resources. Okay, so this is the thing which I just need to explain you. So how many resources? How many resources, Ramya, in this URL? How many resources are present? You understand? Then 4. Okay, let me check. 1, 2. Right. Okay, so this is the only thing which I just need to explain. Vijay, how many resources are present in this URL highlighted part? Yeah, only one resource, which is parent resource. Fine. So we are also done with this thing, resources, how it comes. Now let's come to the methods. So which one methods? Get, post, put and delete. I have already discussed what is get, post, put and delete. At least you know how I can define get. Get means something within the URL, post means some credentials, put means I want to update something which is already there, delete means I want to delete. Okay, so this is enough for you to know for SOAPUI how it comes. Now let's start. What is present for each URL? One method type exists, and if it is okay for each and every URL. What is URL? URL means endpoint. See, endpoints are resources. Fine. So one URL, for each URL, one complete URL is surely going to, I'm going to relate it with any one of the requests. It can be get, post, put or delete. Fine. This is the only thing which I just need to explain right now. Now let's see. Under any WADL, many URLs are present. Understand? This is clear? Already told you this thing. Under one WADL, many URLs will be present, and one URL consists of one endpoint, only one endpoint, and multiple resources. And a complete URL is actually related to one method and request. This thing again I have already told you when I just start introducing the get, post, put and delete. Fine. So go to the let's open this one. Okay. So if you remember what kind of URL what kind of request is present within this URL? Post, because this is my login. So what kind of request is this one? It's surely the get. Okay, why get? Because I am able to see for which I am looking, what I am searching. Fine, and again it is giving me the direct thing. I see one more thing. Here I am just guessing what kind of request it is. But one thing I did right, if you remember, yeah, this line. If you are going to test any REST-based web API, you will get URLs. Fine, and developer is going to tell you what kind of requests and methods are present within what kind of method and request is there within that URL. Okay, so you don't need to take stress of that thing, how you can understand if it is get, if it is post. You just need one URL, and for each and every URL it is going to relate it with the one of the request type, which is get, post, put and delete. Fine, like this you will get that what kind of request is this, what kind of URL and what kind of request type is present within that. And it's almost done. Now, how to build the REST project? This is again very important thing. Today I start with how to build SOAP project. Now I'll tell you how to build the REST project. So let me start. Go to the SOAPUI REST project. When I just select this REST, what I'm getting the option to add the URI. Okay, so what I'll write here, see, this is the list of all the requests which are available under my retail application. Okay, and the same thing, if you are going to test your application, if you are going to test your any of the web API, you are going to get the list of all the URLs like this. Can you see? These are the 3 URLs which I am getting, and the request type is post for all of them. So what is this? What is this? Any idea? Ramya, Vijay, what is this? Yeah, it's JSON request or response. You don't know, but it is a JSON kind of thing. Fine? Right. So again, see, it's a one of the URL, which is the method type is put. And again JSON, some JSON request or response, and then these are nothing. Fine. So each and every URL actually consists of some part of URL, some is endpoint resources. Now I'll tell you how to decide. Okay, Vijay, can you please tell me what is the endpoint for my these 3 or my complete my API? What is the endpoint? Localhost 8080. Okay, fine. See, the thing which I just explained you, it will just give you an idea. You can't surely say that it is surely get, it is surely post. It's just going to give you an idea that maybe it is get, maybe it is post. But you don't need to decide. As I said, when you are going to test any web API, your developer is going to tell you that these all are my URLs, and the first URL is the kind of request which you'll fire is post, like this. Okay, so yeah, right. We don't need to decide, we don't need to think what kind of request it is. Fine. So you said till 8080 is your endpoint, right? Which is correct. But how you can say, see, out of these 3, till admin is my common part. 2 things I did tell you, right? I told you about 2 things. How you can decide the endpoint. Till admin is your common part. So I can choose till admin as my common part as well. Okay? If I just look into these three URLs, but scroll down and you will see that till admin, okay, fine, but see, after that it is coming as common. So I can do one thing, I can choose my endpoint till retail address, then retail, because this is something which is common for all the URLs. But again, just to be at your safe side, it's better if you choose the endpoint till this. Okay, it is the common thing, as well as this is the server, the part of thing which you are going to get from from where you are getting back the response. Okay, and the reason for choosing till 8080 as your endpoint is maybe after some time some more URLs your developer will add. Okay, so after 8080, instead of retail app rest, maybe he writes something else. Maybe you get some other resource. Okay, so just to be at the safe side, I'll choose till 8080 as my endpoint. And one more thing, you'll not select this forward slash. You'll just select this till 8080. Just copy this part of URL, go to the SOAPUI, and right here endpoint, not a complete URL, not a complete resources and everything. Just 8080 and then select OK. Done. So this is what I'm getting. I'll rename it to F2 keys to rename, or you can also rename it by right clicking on that. Okay, and right here build rest project. Done. Okay, so this is what I'm getting. Can you see? Many things are coming, but did I enter all these things? I just entered localhost 8080, right? So I don't need the rest thing, just delete. Yes. Fine. So till 8080, yes, we don't need till 8080. After that, the resources till retailer press. So these all are my resources. As you said, retailer press will be my parent resource. Just select this. So now this time I'll select this forward slash and first resource. Copy it and go to till 8080. Go to this path. Go to this location. Right click and you'll get the option new resource. Done. Okay, and then select OK. Fine. See, again I'm getting some of the methods request by default. I just add this retail address. Methods and requests are coming on its own. Delete it. Done. Fine. So after retail address, again new child resource. So what will be my child resource next? 3 child resources are there, right? So retail this child resource and done. Again the methods and requests. One more thing. See, the method type which I am getting, can you see? This is the request one. Can you read it? Get. So by default method which it is selecting is get only. Okay, so just right click and delete. And after retail it's now my admin. After retail it is my admin. Again I'm getting the method and request. Method type is get. By default I don't need it and delete it. Now after admin it's login. After admin right click and new child resource as login. Done. One more thing, my URL I am done. How to add the URL, how to build a REST project, half is done. Now the rest thing. Can you see this post? Because this my complete URL is request type, the method type is post. Okay, so now this method which I was getting and I was deleting it again and again. What I'll do, I don't need it this time. Okay, I'll not delete because the method and request is related to the last part of your URL, last child resource. Remember this thing again, I'll say that your method and request is related to the last part of your URL. It means last child resource. Fine, and I'm not going to delete it because for the rest, for each and every resource I'll get a method, I'll get a request, but I'll delete all. I'll just keep this login with me. Okay, I'll just keep the method and request for login child resource. So what kind of request it is? It is post. Now change the method type to post. Can you see get, post, put, delete, head, options? Many things are coming. I'll just select post. Done. Okay. Now I'll rename it to. You can also rename any one of the method. I'll say login method, but it is preferred if you don't rename. Okay, but I can rename these methods and requests. I'll tell you why it is not preferred. F2 key, or you can also rename it with the after right clicking. Done. So my REST project is ready. My endpoint is there. My resources are there. Today we are done with how to add one URL. Done. So now our topics for today are almost done. Build REST project. Okay. So let's start some of the things. Okay. See, within SOAPUI, you can't say it is going to it is not going to save your project. You should save your project after creating it. Otherwise, when you close your SOAPUI, you will not see your project. Okay, so just select the location and save it. This project, save it. Okay, so it is not going to ask you want to save your project or not. It will just, whenever you just close your SOAPUI, all the project should be lost. But for my case, it was asking why. You need to change some settings. Okay, by default it is not going to save it. It is not going to ask you. Go to file, this file, preferences, UI settings. Can you see? Then auto save interval. So after every 10 minutes it is going to ask you want to save your project or not. Okay, you can also change some other settings, as it is you can also change the size of the text which you will get, and okay, and then select okay. Fine. So this is how we can build. This is how I can save my project.